Hi everybody, it's Kristin and happy Topic Tuesday to you. I do have a lot of things to talk about this morning laid out before me, but I do just quickly want to say thank you so much for the positive feedback on my fall tag video with Bob. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed that. If you missed it, Bob made an appearance on this channel versus my vlog channel. He made an appearance on this channel versus my vlog channel, and I will link that below in case you missed it. It was the fall tag, and he had quite a lot to say. Okay, so Topic Tuesday this week is going to be my favorite brushes currently. I've had a lot of requests for this, so I'm just going to kind of go ahead and get started because, like I said, I have a lot to talk about. I thought about doing it in 2 different videos, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and have at it here all in one. So I'm just going to move kind of from my base all the way through, and these are brushes that I use every single day, or if I don't use them every day, I will talk about that as I go. So, okay, so the first thing obviously you put on your face is primer. Not obviously, but primer. I apply primer with my fingers, so no brush for that. Next is foundation. So there are 2 brushes that I like for foundation, kind of depending on the foundation. One I've talked about a lot, one not as much. So the first one is the Sigma F80, which the whole world has talked about. It's a flat top kabuki. I just feel like this blends foundation so well into my skin. Doesn't really matter what the foundation is. If I had to pick one foundation brush, I just said this to the girls this weekend. If I had to pick one foundation brush to use and never use anything else again, it would absolutely be my Sigma F80. So I very, very, very much like that one. And then second to that, and I wouldn't have thought this when I originally got it, but I like it for many different foundations. And this is the Cover FX Cream Foundation Brush. It's a goat hair brush, I believe. And I don't know, it's similar. I have been told, I've not seen it, to the Tom Ford Cream Foundation Brush. But I really like it. It works foundation well into my skin. I like it. And it's very soft, so it doesn't, you know, if my skin is particularly dry, it doesn't get any, doesn't work up any flakies or anything like that, neither does the F80. So I really like those 2 for foundation. For concealer on my face, I like to pat it on, you know, in my few spots and with my finger, and then I'll just kind of, you know, buff it out with my foundation brush. For concealer under my eyes, either my fingers or my Sigma Precision Angled P84. I really, really like this one. I like it better than the flat top one. I've kind of tried all of them, and it just seems to work really well to get in there and smooth everything out. So that is what I use for my foundation. So we'll move on to powder. For minerals, and this is... It's not anything new. And this I got long ago. I always give credit where credit is due, from Lisa D1. And this is the Sephora 55 brush. I know that they've changed this a little bit. It has a different handle. But it is amazing. I mean, I am so glad that I watched Lisa's videos when she was talking about this, because I use this with my Laura Mercier Loose Minerals, with my Bare Minerals. I just love how there's something about this and the combination with minerals that really works it well into the skin. And I haven't seen it yet, but I did buy the Sephora mineral brush to kind of compare, but I think that's going to be too dense. I just like how this is, there's some give to it, but not too much, and it's the perfect combination with loose minerals. So if I just want a dusting of powder over my face, my favorite brush is the Real Techniques powder brush, which you can buy singly by itself. It's very, very soft. It's synthetic. That's not why I like it. I'm just saying it's synthetic. And it just, like I said, it's very soft and gives you a nice kind of loose application. I also like the powder brush from the Mr. Bunny kit, but you can't buy that on its own. So this is the one I chose to show you. The only thing probably I don't like is this handle. I mean, while it's nice that it sets on you can set it like this. I stick it in something and it's like a bigger handle, but anyway. Okay, let's move on to bronzer. And bronzer, well, actually, let's talk contour before bronzer. So for contour, I love, and a good friend of mine sent this to me. Otherwise, I don't know that I ever would have even known about it because she had it in her favorites. And this is the Napoleon Perdis Angled Contour Brush 15B. I'm going to show you this since you probably haven't heard as many people talk about it. I love this. It's a perfect angle. It's the perfect denseness without being too dense, and it just, for me and my face shape, and I think that's the key when you're finding a brush to contour with. You have to find one that works perfectly with your face shape. This is awesome. I really like this. It just, I'm looking at my mirror so to make sure I have it in. It just fits in the most perfect spot. I really, really, really like that one. For bronzer all over the face, I'm not going to talk about a brush because I don't have one that I love. I switch off between a couple of different ones, and I just don't have one that I love right now. So I'm not going to suggest one that I kind of like, because what's the point of that? So we'll move on to blush. For powder blush, by far, hands down, favorite brush is the Bobbi Brown Blush Brush, which looks like this. Again, for my face shape and the way that I apply blush, this works really, really well. For my skin, I think there are so many things that go into finding different brushes that work for you for different products. And one of them is your face shape, your skin texture. There are just so many things. And this, for my skin texture and my face shape, works perfectly. It just is, it's perfect. So I've used this one since July. This does not shed on me. The Bobbi Brown bronzer brush sheds crazy. So if you got the bronzer brush, because people used to talk about that one all the time, and you're like, I'm never buying another Bobbi Brown brush again because that one sheds. For me anyway, this one has not, and I wash my brushes every single week. So for cream blush, my favorite applicator, yeah, my favorite brush by far is the e.l.f. Small Stipple. And I learned about this from Emily on Emily Noel 83. And otherwise I probably wouldn't have known about it. It just is the perfect, it picks up a good amount of product. Just you can stipple it on there and blend it with the same brush. I really like this one. I don't think I liked using cream blushes as much until I found this brush. So sometimes the right application can make all the difference. Okay, so let's talk about highlighter. And I kind of have two different things. And as I said, I will always give credit where credit is due. So a while back, Vanessa from the Bombshell Suite did a video using Reserve Your Cabana from Wet n Wild, which is a bronzer, but it's really more of a highlighter. And the Sigma F35 tapered highlighter brush, which looks like this. So it's just smaller than your normal one. It's kind of egg-shaped. I like that combination to just kind of blur out the lines on my face, which is what I learned from her. So I just kind of go right here with that product, and then up here, and sometimes I even do it right here, just to blur all the lines and make everything meld into itself. So this brush is amazing for that. It's got the kind of egg shape, which works really well, and also it's dense but not too dense. Also for highlight, if you're looking for just a real sheer wash of highlight, and this brush you can only get in Canada to my knowledge, it's by Quo, but there are other brushes I'm sure that you can find. So this is called their blush brush, I think. Yes, their blush brush looks like this. And I'm going to see if you can see how loosely packed that is. It's very loose. It kind of reminds me of the Chanel blush brush. I think it's the number 4, where it's very loose. I don't like that for blush. I don't feel like I can blend it into my skin very well. But for highlight, this is very, very nice. So you just kind of, you just kind of apply it. I'm not really sure what I was going to show you there, but it's just really, really a nice, soft brush to apply highlight. And that's what I have ended up using. I do like using a MAC 109 for highlight, but I just don't feel like it blends it into the skin quite as well as this. It doesn't kind of meld it into your skin. The last brush I want to talk about is the Tarte foundation brush. The one that I have looks like this. I think I sent my other one with the bamboo handle to a friend, but I have this one. I like it because it sits like this, and I do set it right on my, I'm not sure why I did that. I do set it right on my vanity. Another brush, if you have this one and aren't using it for something, would be the It Cosmetics brush. I think it came with their powder for me from QVC. But anyway, what I like this for is at the very end of, like, I've finished everything, literally everything. I will take this brush, I'm gonna get my hair out of the way, and just kind of, make everything pretty. And in theory, that is what I'm doing. I used to use the MAC 152, the Sigma version of that, whatever, like the kabuki brush with a short little handle. And I like that as well, but this one, it just fits a little bit better in my hand because it's not the short hand, and it has a little more stiffness to it. So I really like that. That's just kind of how I finish my face, and, That literally is the last thing that I do. Okay, so let's move on to some eye brushes. And these are brushes that I use every single day. So I might have other brushes that I like for particular applications of things, but what I want to talk about here is just the things that I use every single day. So my favorite lay down brush, when I'm doing probably more than one color, is the MAC 239. I have 3 of them. I'm showing you all 3 to tell you how much I like this. I've tried just about every lay down brush. That's not true. I've tried a lot of lay down brushes, but the MAC one picks up the most color in my opinion and puts it down where you want it. You get a nice saturation of color. I can't even explain how much I really, really like these brushes. So again, I've tried a lot of lay down brushes. Those are by far my favorite. Now, this is a line of brushes that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and I have used these for a long time. And actually, I suggested a couple of these brushes to some friends of mine, and they have enjoyed them as well. So if I want to put a wash of color on my lid, something that's not quite so saturated as what I would want with a 239, I grab my Smashbox tapered shadow brush, and it is the number 7. So it looks like this. It doesn't look like anything crazy, but in comparison, that's the MAC 239. You can see that it's fluffier. And it gives a very, very nice wash of color. This is the perfect brush for a one shadow eye look, because you can lay the shadow down, turn it on its side, blend out the crease, and be done. This is a great brush. Great, great brush. It does not get a lot of love. Okay, the next one I want to talk about that I use every day, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with that if you've watched me for any amount of time, is this sort of domed shadow brush. I have 4 of them. To me, the Sigma version is exactly the same as the MAC version. I'm going to show you right here. See if you can tell me which one is the MAC one. Probably not. Well, you probably can because this looks different. But this is the MAC 217 or the Sigma E25. I bought 2 more of these when they had their 20% off sale. I've had my MAC one for a very, very long time. I just really like these. Now, every time I wash my brushes, I use brush guards, and that helps keep them in their shape. But one of these, you can't even see, this is the Sigma one. I've had this so long. I've had this longer than my MAC 217. These are the perfect brushes for doing kind of that outside color and into the crease. I use them all the time. Love them. Okay, so for my transition color or color into the crease, again, I've talked about this one a lot. You can only get this one in Canada. It's another Quo brush, but I've not yet found a brush in the United States that's anything like this. So this is the Quo Crease Shadow Brush. It has a nice taper to it, so you can get right in there where you're wanting to lay down your transition color. It's great. It's soft. It washes up well. I have 2 of these now. I just really... I hate that I keep saying really, really, but it's a great brush. In terms of getting your transition color down and blended up into your brow bone, perfect, just perfect for that. Another crease brush I want to talk about is a Smashbox product, and it is just their crease brush, and it's number 10. So it's fluffier. You can see that it's fluffier. It's also fluffier than a 224, but for laying color down and wanting to get that really kind of blown out crease, this is a very, very nice brush for that. Sometimes if I'm just putting a light color down and I'm going to put like some wedge in the crease, and I'm just doing a very light but defined eye, bam, very, very quick. You could use this for both. You can put the light color down, you can put that in the crease, brow bone, done. You could use all of this. This is a nice brush. The Smashbox brushes, the ones that I have, are very nice, and they don't get talked about at all. The 2 brushes that I like for my brow bone highlight are, one's a Smashbox and one is Sigma E-something. E50? E50. So it's like the MAC 227. Again, I like it because you can kind of almost like stamp your brow bone color on and then smooth it out, and it helps to blend that line in between your transition color to your brow bone just to give it even more blended. So this is by far the one I use the most. Second to that would be the Smashbox, and this is the one I used before I got that Sigma one. That's how long I've had this brush, and it's the number 3. So in comparison, you can see kind of the shape. It's not quite as thick, but it has more of a little point to it. Again, perfect for just kind of trying to look in the viewfinder so I don't poke myself in the eye. Perfect for just putting your color down there, smoothing it out, and getting a nice brow bone highlight. And then the last brush I want to talk about, and I've talked about this a bunch lately so I won't dwell, but this is the Sigma E21. I had one of these that came in the Precision Kit, I believe is what it was called. And when I went to the Mall of America, I purchased 2 more, one for a friend and another one for myself. And then one came in that Sigma eyeliner kit that I reviewed, which I'll link below in case you're curious about that one. But anyway, this is the E21. For me, this is the perfect, I like a smudgy eyeliner. I don't like a precise line, which is why I don't use liquid liner very often. So you can put down your eyeliner and smudge it out perfectly into the lash line with this. It's also great for taking color and pulling it down under. Again, every single day I use one of these. That's why I'm happy to have 3 of them. Okay, so I know that was a lot of brushes to talk about. I'm sorry, I hope this isn't too long, but you guys were curious in what my everyday brushes were, and these are what they are. I do wash my brushes every single week, and throughout the week I don't like to use them. I don't really like to use them more than once. Sometimes I have to. So that's why I have backups of a lot of my brushes. All right, if you aren't curious on what's on my face, thank you so much for watching. And if you are, I will run it down quickly for you. Today I have on as my foundation, the Covergirl 3-in-1 Outlast, which I am actually very much liking. I'm surprised by that. And then over top of that, I have the It Cosmetics Celebration Foundation in Light Medium. I'm giving that another shot as my setting powder versus a foundation. On my eyes today, I have the First Look in 4 Looks 1 palette I'm working on with the Balm Jove. This is the one that won hands down for wanting the next look. For my blush today, I have the Smashbox blush in Warm Glow. I can't really show you because it's in this, but that's what it looks like. Highlight today, I'm using my Bare Minerals Luminizer, the one that came in that kit, in This Magic Moment. I promise I won't sing again. And the Bare Minerals Lash Domination for my mascara. On my lips today, I'm all about Bare Minerals. And the Bare Minerals Moxie in Breakaway. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!